Valhall is a new first and third person melee slasher game that takes place in the Viking universe. The game has released on Steam into early access this year, on the 22nd of October, and sells for around €25. It is developed and published by Black Rose Arts, a developer team currently consisting of 6 full-time and 5 part-time employees. Valhall has been crowdfunded by 2 Indiegogo campaigns, where it could raise over €100,000 over the past 2.5 years. They also have been awarded with a mega grant from Epic Games that made them somewhere around another $50,000. Receiving a mega grant doesn't limit the studio in any way. Black Rose Arts remains ownership and the ability to publish on any platform. Initially planned as a melee slasher battle royale game only, the game's scope has been extended way beyond that. Upon full release, the game promises different PvE and PvP modes, as well as some sort of a progression system. Their main focus lies on the PvP experience. Harbinger is the first part, and it tells about the beginning of Ragnarok from the perspective of the people in Midgard. The game was highly anticipated in some circles. The expectations were high. Epic, skill-based Viking PvP fights with creatures from the Norse mythology is something many people can't easily get hyped about. Playing this first early access version, however, was very sobering. The game as of right now is, contrary to what one would expect from watching the game trailer, very early in development and reminds more of an early alpha tech demo than a typical early access Steam release. There is no real game mode with an objective to push for, nor anything else that would allow some form of progress. But most importantly, there is no multiplayer as of yet. All there is right now is 2 playable single-player instances. The first one is called Mjolnir, supposedly a story mode, where you have to escape a realm with Thor's hammer. The whole thing takes about 5 minutes to complete. One thing that stands out is the game's visuals and audio. The character models and environmental details are top-notch, even for a 2020 game. The game is made in Unreal Engine and runs fine performance-wise on my end. Some of the player models are bought from the UE marketplace. The background music is absolutely epic and fits the whole Nordic setting exceptionally well. The sound effects feel heavy and impactful. Let's have a listen. As a game in the melee slasher genre, the developers promise deep melee combat with a directional attack input system. The input of different attack directions happens via mouse movement, similar to Mordhau if you use the default input system. The current held parry defense is only a placeholder and will get changed to a directional parry system in the future. Some attack animations look alright. Some others definitely need improvement. Hitboxes and hit registration sometimes feels glitchy and needs to be addressed, since this is one of the most crucial parts of any online PvP game. The second playable mode is called Massive Battle, which basically spawns 20 AI units on a field. Unfortunately, the AI doesn't work as intended, and bots are just running in random directions or standing still. The game in general is riddled with bugs. A list of things that happened on my short playthrough are: player models clipping through objects, random crashes, not being able to input any attacks or movement, random invisible walls, floating objects, AI not aggroing or acting at all, and a few more. Most of the little content there is feels unpolished, even for an early access state. There's also a hub where you're supposed to be able to test different weapons against a bot. This would be pretty nice, but the bot doesn't attack or defend reliably, and once he dies you have to reload the game mode and walk back to the place where he spawns for about 3 minutes. A simple option to spawn and delete bots with different weapons to test the combat would save a lot of frustration. Speaking of options, even the most standard game options are absent in this build. There is currently no sound volume slider and no FOV slider. No option to change keybinds, no FPS limiter, nor any other standard gameplay option. As already mentioned, PvP modes are still in development and were initially planned for the first quarter of 2021, according to the official roadmap. After an outcry in the community, however, the devs promised to bring back the PvP tests sooner than that. Launching without multiplayer is a pretty bold move for a game that initially marketed itself as a Viking Battle Royale game. But let's have a look at the roadmap. Mentionable features that are planned for the next couple of months are dual wielding, some kind of progression tracking, updated animations and full controller support. Depending on how well the game does on PC, the devs also consider bringing Valhall to consoles. Noteworthy things that are marked as planned but have no set date are voice chat, PvP arenas, directional block, archery, the possibility to host dedicated servers, an anti-cheat system, armor customization, weapon customization, dismemberment, bleeding, character customization, female characters, a siege mode, quests, horses, a building system, a battle royale game mode, more game modes, more character progressions and more. So basically a huge list of features that sounds way too ambitious in my opinion, given the size of their development team and their resources, especially if you consider how little they have progressed within the last year or so. After the bad community reception of the early access launch, one of the main developers posted a statement from which I quote, "We apologize for launching early access in such an early state and that it doesn't include a lot of the things you expected. Common deathmatches, BR and Siege will become available during early access. Single player is an option to test the new features that will be developed in the future." A question that has been raised by some people that back this game is this game a scam? And well, I don't think so. It might be inexperience, incompetence, failed money management, or simply a dev team trying to sell a dream and hoping for the best. 150k euros for development sounds like a lot, but really isn't that much for an 11-man team. So maybe, and this is pure speculation, they needed fresh money to be able to continue the development. I can't see another reason why they would show their game to a broad audience in a state like this and charge 25 euros for it. Funding game development should never be the sole reason for an early access launch. Anyway guys, I will monitor the development update of this game closely and report back if there are any substantial changes. I really like the concept of the game and hope they can turn it around. As of now, I think I made my point clear that I do not recommend buying into this game unless you want to support the development of this project and don't expect a functional game. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about this game and the way the developer handled things. Please leave a like and consider subscribing to this channel if you found this video helpful and enjoyable. As always, thank you all for watching and see you soon.